Yo, what's Gucci, guys? So today I want to talk about correlations. What's my current position on correlations? Because I don't really release correlation videos as often anymore. But first, when we talk about correlations, we need to understand one thing: establish some kind of truth when it comes to correlations. So first, they exist. It is a fact. So when we say it's a fact, it's a simple conclusion, right? When correlation is basically looking at two concepts and seeing what the overlap is. When it comes to human psychology and typologies, the overlap is generally pretty big because psychology talks about similar things. And all of the typologies talk about extremely similar things. Sometimes I see people saying, no, I don't believe in correlations. It's okay to say correlations aren't your thing, but to say you don't believe in them is saying you are not a logical individual. You are detached from critical thinking. You are denying the obvious reality that two concepts indeed do overlap. So correlations will exist regardless if you acknowledge them or if you don't believe in them. They are there. You simply decide to keep a blind eye. It's basically willful ignorance. So there are many instances where correlations do more harm than good. People might not know anything about typology, but they'll go in with this preconceived idea that maybe I am an SP9, okay? And they're sure, at least they themselves believe they are. And then obviously they will look at this correlation list without knowing anything, and then they will be like, okay, I'm an SLI. But what if this person is not even an SP9 to begin with? So now they type themselves completely incorrectly because they believe they were an SP9 and they had to correlate it to this type. And this is why correlations can mislead you, and they can lead you to mistyping yourself. Correlations is something that it has to be dealt with a lot of knowledge. How can we make sure that we maximize the maybe effectiveness of those correlations? There must be a way. Well, certainly not by not knowing, right? To make correlations work well, you need to know. That's just the nature. You do need to have a certain basis of understanding of the systems. You should pick one system and become an expert in it. Maybe not an expert, but you should understand it deeply enough when you can type yourself in confidence. And after that is done, let's say you start with Socionics. So you learn Socionics and then you will type yourself. Okay, cool. Then you don't look at the correlations. You don't touch the correlation list at all. You go open the Enneagram and now you study Enneagram. You spend a few months learning and then you type yourself as something. Okay, you have whatever combination you now ended up with. And if you did your research correctly, and if you used your brain, and if you are a critical thinker, probably did it correctly, right? Not saying it's perfect, but if you have a brain and you used it carefully, you will likely have the right conclusion. So what you do is open correlation list, which is a cheat code for you. Oh, let's see if this combination might make sense. Okay, sure, it does, or maybe it doesn't. And if it doesn't, ask yourself why. Not necessarily, oh, this correlation list 100% works, but ask yourself, think about those two concepts and why aren't they correlated? Maybe there's something in those concepts that contradicts the notions. Look at Socionics, really make sure you did correctly. Look at Enneagram, really make sure you did it correctly. And if you in the end are 100% fucking sure of it, and if let's say I tell you, you will get completely decapitated if you're wrong, and you still are confident, type as that. People see this channel, they see correlation this, new update. The truth is, we've done the updating. We've already done all of this shit. To me, typology isn't just sitting and cooking new correlations. That's not what the fuck I do. It's really fucking boring. And it's also boring to be asked million questions about the same combination that's been discussed million times over. Let them find the truth. Let them find out. Well, go read the book. Go read the books carefully and learn the system. You'll find the right correlation. There are some people genuinely in the community who are brain dead and they don't think logic. There's no logic. Those people, like unironically, you can show them two concepts that are so contradictory. They'll say, I don't see a problem. But those individuals, we're not addressing them. Learn the system. Don't just go to me for correlation typing. I mean, if you really want me to explain something deeply, you're learning and you're wondering why it cannot work because X, Y, and Z, in your opinion, it could. Sure, we can. There can be a discussion made. People have new correlation lists. This person makes new correlation lists. This person makes. It's to me, everyone has their own correlation list. Yeah, maybe you should even have yours. It's fine, whatever. I'm kind of burnt out at this point because initially it's interesting. Initially, when people talk about correlations, okay, once, twice, cool, cool, cool. But we've done this so many times. We released those lists. There's no point of fucking discussing this anymore. I'd rather discuss a type, its manifestation, how it looks, everything, right? Or characters type, whatever it is, but not correlation. So, I'm to the point, I'm just so done with this shit. So when people come to me with new correlations, yeah, okay. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I haven't read it, I didn't do the research personally. I'm not gonna say. Maybe if I sat down and did it, okay, I could accept these correlations, but I'm kind of past this shit. Guys, again, peace out. Remember, correlations can be good if they're used properly as a cheat code. At the end of the journey, at the end of the learning journey, you can do it. But don't just base all of your learning based on correlations. That's it for me for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment your opinions on correlations, obviously. Did they help you? Or maybe did they lead you to a mistype? Because this kind of thing happens to everybody. Anyway, I'm out. I'm Charles. And I'm bouncing.